Okay.
Awesome. I want to welcome everyone to this Science of Getting Rich book club, which I'm so excited about, because what we are going to do here is we're going to discuss the different chapters, and we're going to give our own view. We're going to share our own view on this amazing book and what I've learned from studying this book. And, you know, the first thing that happened to me when I became aware of this book was that Melody shared with me other people's, you know, views on this book. And when I heard other people talk about this book, I understood it in a different way and got pops that I would have never gotten otherwise. So I'm so excited for this. And before we begin, I just want to say thank you, Lisa, for setting this up. You're amazing, and we're going to learn so much from this. I also want to say, when it comes to the technical side, because we were talking back and forth, Lisa and I, that I believe that there is one file in the file section that when you click on it, it doesn't open up. You have to download it. And one of the most common questions I get is, where does my downloads end up? So if you're having any technical difficulties accessing the resources, let me know, because I want to help you access it easily so that you can get the, you know, the most out of this, because it's going to be amazing. So with that being said, I'm going to pass it back to Lisa. Thank you so much for doing this.
Welcome. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. LisaMarie, I think you all know who I am. So I want you guys to, when we get into this, I want you guys to really try to keep an open mind to things that we have been taught our whole life that aren't necessarily true. You know what I mean? Appearances appearing fake, appearances appearing real. What is that saying, Nicholas?
False emotions appearing real, I think.
Yep. False emotions appearing real. So, oops, let's see. Here we got to let some more people in. Nicholas, you don't see people coming in?
I don't think I can see them because you're host, so you have to let them in.
Okay. All right. So, should we show them where all the files are so that they can get at them if they need them, if they don't have the book or any of the files associated with it? So let me just share my screen real quick. Is that cool? Okay. So we're going to go over here to, everybody can see me, I'm assuming. Let's go back to,
we can see you.
I went to the wrong one, so sorry. Okay, here we go. Okay, so if you go into, let me get to the actual group. Okay, there we go. Now, if you go over here to more, now this is on a computer. On a phone, it's going to be just a little bit different. Up, like right underneath the members, you're going to have a little button, which if you just pull it one way, all these things are going to show up. So you go to more and files. And what we are going to do is start with the preface and the introduction, and we are going to listen to the audio for that. Everybody should have read this book. Who has not? Is there anybody here that has not read it in its entirety? Hi, Judah. You haven't finished it yet? Okay. And that's okay. You know, and I do want to tell you guys, when I first read this book, the first time, the second time, even the third and fourth time, I did not get it. I did not get it. I didn't see what all the hoopla was for. You know, it didn't resonate with me, whether it was my limiting beliefs or what exactly it was. And even listen to the audio and taking notes and reading, take notes, listen, take notes. And then I went through Melody's 30-day accountability course. And listening to Robert's version of each chapter was freaking mind blowing. I'm sorry. Every single morning, instead of doing what I was supposed to be doing, I'd be listening to Robert. Oh, freaking. How productive is that, right? I couldn't get enough. It was just eye-opening for me, and I loved his analogy. I don't know if I understand it 100% yet. I am not a master at this book by any means. I'm learning it right along with you guys. So if we can give different versions of how we interpret each one, I'm telling you, that is going to help everybody in this group. I know it will, because that is what kind of did it for me. And Nicholas, you said the same thing. You know, when you started seeing other people's versions of it, then it was like the golden pops started. So, okay. So now everybody sees, let me go back here again. Everybody sees, whoops, right here. All of the files are in here. Everything we need. I've only got through chapter 8 right now. I haven't had time to put the rest in, but I will be doing that periodically as we go through. I want to try to keep this to an hour. We might opt to go with 40. It depends on if my Zoom account will work or not. I'm having issues with it right now, and we use Nicholas's. So I did not use guides. I thought it was way too confusing, and we're just not gonna do that, because I was not able to copy paste in there, which I think is going to be beneficial for everyone, because I do know that there are some people in this group that have a lot of difficulty either uploading, downloading, knowing where that stupid file went. I'm one. You know, it's like, good grief, I just saved that. I am I've done videos on every chapter multiple times. And I do have, I believe all of them are uploaded to YouTube now. I have some 3 or 4 versions. It's like, I'm goofy, whatever. It's like nothing was good enough. I just had to keep doing it over and over. And I know that, and you guys too, we need to get over ourselves. Okay. We are not perfect. We are all learning. And we all learn differently. Sometimes you're going to be attracted to one voice that you just, wow, you get it. And another time it's like, I don't know where this guy's coming from. You know, and nothing is right or wrong. I just want you to keep an open mind. Get rid of the stinking thinking. Broaden that, oh my gosh, that we can do everything. Chapter 1 is about, which I'm not going to start chapter 1 quite yet, but the right to be rich. Okay. Do you guys, and I want you to write something in the chat or whatever. Do you think that you have the right to be rich? And then I want to know, Melody, love you. That's, yeah. Okay. I'm sorry, I lost track. Give me a second. I should not talk to Melody when she's here, because I get my self-conscious going, but okay. If you believe that you have the right to be rich, I want you at some point after this class or whatever, post it on your wall, and don't say another word. Just, scream it out there. I have the right to be rich. And so do you. If you think so, post it, repost this, whatever. The first time I did my first chapter 1, I had done that, and a lot of people participated, and it was really kind of cool because it felt like we were pushing some momentum, and pushing those vibes upwards. And that is what's needed. We need to keep our vibration levels really, really high. And get other people pumped up. Believe it like you already are. and it says that throughout this book. Feel it with every emotion that you have. You want to, think of a vision and just start small, because I had a really hard time with this. I could not get my mind around a vision of any sort. I don't know why. I just couldn't. And I don't know if it's because I feel like I really don't need any more. I don't know. But that also is a limiting belief, because I am not setting my goals high enough at all. If I can't even envision something. And chapter 6, you're going to see how to get into that. It's really kind of cool, the old guy. So I'm anxious to share. So I'm going to start. I'm going to bring up my, let me share again. Or am I already? No, there we go. And I'm just going to let you see the preface and the introduction. As you're listening to it, there's really no words, but I thought that I typed it out too. So just give me a sec. And so I can find it. Okay, whoops. Bear with me just a second here. Okay, oh, that was the individual. Here we go. Okay. Not philosophical, a practical manual, not a treatise on. Can everybody hear that before I continue? You can't hear it? Really?
I could hear it, but it was, I don't know, it was a low volume, but now it stopped.
Let's try that again. Where'd it go? Base.
You have it down there, Lisa, where you were there. Yeah, to the left.
Oh, right there. Yeah. My bad. Okay. And if it doesn't. It is intended for the men and women whose most pressing need is for money, who wish to get rich first and philosophize afterward. Results, and who are willing to take the conclusions of science as a basis for action, without going into all the processes by which those conclusions were reached. It is expected that the reader will take the fundamental statements upon faith, just as he would take statements concerning share audio when she's if they were promulgated by a Marconi or an Edison. Share. And taking the statements upon faith, that he will prove their truth by acting upon them without fear or hesitation. Every man or woman who does this will certainly get rich, for the science herein applied is an exact science, and failure is impossible. In writing this book, I have sacrificed all other considerations to plainness and simplicity of style, so that all might understand. The plan of action laid down herein was deduced from the conclusions of philosophy. It has been thoroughly tested and bears the supreme test of practical experiment. It works. Velocity model, 1910. Okay, now I'm going to go to the introduction. I really enjoyed this, and I think it should be part of the syllabus. So there we go. Introduction. About 18 months ago, a man I've never met sent me a book I'd never heard of by a man who'd been dead nearly 90 years. That book changed everything. Everything to practice the principles you'll learn about on this page. The results were astonishing, and they began almost instantly. Hello, I'm so pleased to introduce you to this exciting forgotten classic. When the science of getting rich arrived in the mail that afternoon, I immediately ripped open the package and said, with an open mind, mostly because the title was just so intriguing. And even though I must admit I found some of the old-fashioned language and some of the ideas in the first part a bit confusing, there was something about it that compelled me to reread those little confusing bits 2 or 3 times until I got it.
Once I did that, I couldn't stop reading until I'd read the whole thing. Right away, I began to put into practice what the book outlines, and everything began to change. Coincidences happened, happy ones that led to connections with people, that led to more connections, that led to money beginning to flow toward me in increasingly larger amounts and from several different sources. And even though changing your habitual thinking is difficult, and I'm still not as good at it as I intend to be, my business began to click, my income has already doubled, then tripled, and continues to rise. My cramped city apartment has given way to a spacious waterfront home. I've established wonderful new relationships with many amazing, successful, and wealthy people, and opportunities to continue to show up at my doorstep almost daily. Until this book arrived, nothing I had ever read or heard before had explained to me so clearly that there are universal laws at work regarding wealth and success, and that if we'll just work with those laws, go with the tide instead of trying to swim against it, the results we want will begin to come to us. That if we will scientifically reproduce the causes of wealth, we will invariably reproduce the results. Now, right off the bat, Mr. Waddles says that instead of questioning how these principles work, you'll need simply to accept them and begin to practice them. So I did that, even though, as I read, I did find myself resisting from time to time and thinking, well, I don't know if I can agree with that. But I'd already decided just to accept each premise as if I thoroughly believed it. By the time I finished the book, I understood why he'd said that. You see, some of what you'll hear on this tape will most likely challenge some of your previous thinking. That seems to be the case for most people, and I think Mr. Waddles designed it that way. So keep on, and you'll soon see how he builds each chapter on what he presented in the preceding ones. I think you'll find yourself saying, as I and many others have, oh, now I see why he said that, now I see how it all fits together. I believe also that you'll find it absolutely refreshing to know that to get rich by the method outlined here, it is essential that you embrace and practice what we all know as the golden rule, that the daily practice of gratitude is one of the conduits by which your wealth will come to you, and that by accomplishing your financial dreams through this method, everyone else will also have more. A far cry from the dog-eat-dog, claw your way to the top, anything for a buck mentality so many believe to be the only way to wealth. You know by now that I am not a professional announcer. Recording this tape is way out of my comfort zone. But having shared this book with several hundred people already, and having been completely overwhelmed by their reactions and results, I'm pleased to respond to the request for this tape and thrilled to have yet another method to get Mr. Waddles' most excellent work out to still more people. Listen closely to the message of this book with an open mind. Get a free copy of the printed version at the Science of Getting Rich Network website, www.scienceofgettingrich.net, and read it. Print it out and give it to your friends. Sign up for the free weekly email newsletter to share in the insights and amazing experiences of others. Focus constantly on your own personal vision and share that vision with other like-minded people who are doing the same. You will see results. You already have within you everything you need to turn your dreams into reality. You are a person of infinite worth and unique possibility. Even if you don't think of yourself as a creative person, and even if you've failed before, and even if you think you've tried everything, open your mind to
You're muted, Lisa. You need to unmute yourself.
My bad. Hi, guys. New at this, I guess. All right. So we're going to start with chapter 1, but I think it is very crucial to keep an open mind because, you know, our minds are formed as soon as we are born. Whoever our caretaker is or whatever they do, sharing sound. Oh, I do. I have to share it again. Can you guys hear me? Oh.
Yeah, we can hear you. Don't the message I sent you in the chat, I learned something new.
Okay, so sorry.
So, disregard
that. So keep an open mind, and some of the words, the verbiage and the nouns and all that, this is from a different era. This book was written in 1910. Just after the turn of the century. And the reason that we can do this with this book and with the audios is because it's over 100 years old. So that leaves that anybody can create a course if they want to. You know, Think and Grow Rich is going to come next. Well, maybe another 20 years. I don't know, but if it's 100 years old, then you have free access to that, and I think that's amazing. So I am going to start with chapter 1, and just my version. I mean, now when I was taught to do this, I do have a lot of the words that are word for word as far as my questions go at the end. And I want to show you here. No, it's not here. That's all right. I don't need to share my screen here, do I? No. Okay, chapter 1, the right to be rich. We can render God and humanity no greater service than to make the most of ourselves. Whatever may be said in praise of poverty, the fact remains it is not possible to live a really complete or successful life unless one is rich. So I looked up the definition to rich because that's what Robert always does. In the dictionary, it says having a great deal of money or assets, plentiful, abundant. But I want you guys to write down on your piece of paper, what does the definition of rich mean to you? There is no right or wrong answer. You can share it in the comments if you feel comfortable. If you don't want to, that's fine. Okay. And let's see. No man can rise to, we can't hit our greatest potential in talent or soul development, self-development, unless we have tools. Okay. In order to purchase the tools we needed to develop, we must have money. So the object of all life is development. And everything that lives has the right to all the development that it's capable of attaining. Every living thing has the right to grow. It says in the Bible that if you are not growing to your potential, if you are leaving stuff on the table, if you are not reaching higher, it says it is a sin. It says that in the Bible. I've read that there. So we all have the right to grow to our potential in every area, mentally, spiritually, physically. Wallace Wattles says in the book, to be really rich does not mean to be satisfied or content with a little, not if he's capable of using and enjoying more. Every living thing was meant to grow and advance in life. Every person naturally wants to be all that they can be if they are capable of becoming more. It's in our human nature. Success in life is becoming what you want to be. And that can only happen by making use of things. And you can have the use of things as you become rich enough to buy them. To understand the science of getting rich is therefore the most essential of all knowledge. And according to the book, there are 3 motives for which we live. We live for the body, we live for the mind, and we live for the soul. No one is better than the other one. We cannot live fully if either of those is cut short of a full life. So wherever there is unexpressed possibility or function not performed, there is also unsatisfied desire. Desire is possibility seeking expression or function seeking performance. Man cannot live fully embodied without good food, comfortable clothes, and a warm shelter. Rest and recreation are also necessary to his physical life. He can't live fully in mind without books and the time to study them. And without opportunity to travel, observe the world, all the beautiful things that are out there, or without intellectual companionship. To live fully in mind he must have intellectual recreations and surround himself with all the objects of art and beauty he is capable of using and appreciating. To live fully in soul, man must have love, and love is denied expression by poverty. The most happiness a man is found in his giving to the people that he cares about. He loves his family. The man who has nothing to give cannot fill his place as a husband or a father, or as a citizen, or as a man. And that part I'm having a little trouble with, because I don't believe that any man should not be considered a man or a citizen because of where he's at in life. I don't know how you guys feel about that. And when I'm done, this is going to open up to you guys. So I can't wait to hear. It is in the use of material things that a man finds full life for his body. He develops his mind and he unfolds his soul. It's okay that we should desire to be rich. If you are a normal man or a woman, you cannot help but doing so. With that being said, we should give our full attention to the science of getting rich. If you neglect this study, you would be derelict in your duty to yourself, to God, and humanity. Again, you can render God and humanity no greater service than to make the most of yourself. Okay, this was my summary of chapter 11, or I'm sorry, chapter 1. So, all right, I'm going to open this up to thoughts, any takes whatsoever. Where are your thoughts at with this chapter? Who wants to go? Anybody? Okay, Nicholas.
Hey, Lisa. Yeah, I would love to share. What Wallace Waters is talking about in the first chapter is that, he talks about money. However, rich is so much more than money, but money is very important because we need money in order to buy the things that will help us develop. He says that a person develops in mind, soul, and body by making use of things, and society is organized that we must have money in order to become the possessor of these things. And it's funny when I read this, because something that I always say to myself and the people around me, and I say this with a complaining voice, only because I'm not rich myself yet, but I always complain that society is all about money. And that is because I'm struggling with that at the moment. I'm not rich yet. I say yet because I'm gonna be. I have the right to be rich. So I thought it was funny. I wanted to share that. And, so I believe that I'm gonna have the shortest, takeaways or views on these chapters, because that's just how I am, short and straight to the point. But rich is so much more than money. And when you think about it, everything that he talks about in this chapter is that society is built upon it, and it really is. And we're not at chapter 2 yet, but it all connects with chapter 2 for me, because the right to be rich, then there is a science to be rich, to become rich, and I truly believe that as well. So this is my view on this chapter. This is what I wanted to share. Thank you.
That's awesome, Nicholas. Thank you for sharing. That is fabulous. Anybody else? Nothing? Danette, how about you, Dustin? I see you went away. Well, okay, if nobody has any questions, you guys, this is how we're going to get the most out of this that we can, is by, and if you don't know, this is excellent practice for all of us. Ask the questions, because this book says if we can master this, there is no fail in this system. It's been proven. And it is for the people that want it without taking the time to go through all the philosophies that all the authors at the beginning in this preface were talking about. You know what I mean? So, okay, should we move on to chapter 2? If nobody has anything to say, I can certainly leave the links for the YouTube videos that I have created in the group. If you guys want to watch them, you are more than welcome to. They are unlisted, so you would have to get to them by the link, I believe, right, Nicholas? Yep. Okay. And I think once you're into my YouTube channel, I think you have access to the playlists. And of course, it's in there as Science of Getting Rich. Another thing that happened to me when I was doing this course is I have, maybe I said that already. Yeah, chapter 6 and chapter 14, I can't find any of them. I don't know where they're at. See what I mean about downloading? And it's like, where did that thing go? So I cannot find it anywhere. So those 2 chapters I will have to do over, but I have all the material without my videos. There are a lot of mistakes that I made, and I challenge you guys to find those. If you can find those mistakes, that's only going to help you that much more. You can use me as a guinea pig. So, okay, we have 12:31. We have 40 minutes until I get my Zoom account figured out. Now we can leave another link and we can go right into chapter 2, or we can talk about this some more. Up to you guys, or we can end it on chapter 1. I do believe that we should be doing 2 chapters a day easily. Otherwise, we're going to be in here for 16 weeks. And I don't think anybody wants to do that. So if we can get this done in 8, that would be amazing. And I think we can do it. But I don't want you guys to be deterred from sharing your thoughts, please. Okay. I want to see if Melody has anything to add here, if that's okay.
Hey, Lisa, it's so good to be here, and thank you. I apologize. I've got a lot of chaos, noise in my background. I just want to say thank you for doing this book club. This book, even though it was written in 1910 by Wallace D. Wattles, and it sometimes sounds like a foreign language to us, if we just think about it and translate it to today's times, it is so powerful that I was so unaware of this book, of these success principles, until Robert shared them with me and basically said, do this, read this, study this, master this if you want to change your life. And to be honest, I was not a reader. I managed to get through school without having to read very much. I didn't consider myself a reader. And when I sat down with this book and I went, oh, okay, my mentor says I need to do this, I'm going to do this. And I can't even tell you the vast amounts of changes that have happened in my life learning these success principles throughout this book, and being able to be aware of my thoughts, be aware of where my beliefs came from. And Lisa, I've shared with you, I've shared with Nicholas, and I was brought up in a culture. I was brought up in the church, so you wouldn't think this was true, looking back, but I was brought up in a culture that I was taught that, the root of money is the root of all evil. Rich people are selfish and only out for themselves. And that's it. It was just implied in everything, as I was growing up. So when I had a conversation with Robert on my beliefs and how I was brought up, it was a huge epiphany for me. Here I'm learning these success principles. I'm learning to apply them to my life in each and every way. And I was practicing them, but I had a roadblock, like a big brick wall blocking the abundance that was to come to my life because of my beliefs, those limiting beliefs that I was brought up with, that I didn't know any better. So one of the best questions that Robert asked me, and he asked me about many things, was, how do I know that? How do you know this? Were you taught this? Were you brought up believing this? Was this ingrained into your culture, in the way that you were raised? So I tend to do that with everything. And I challenge each and every one of you as you go through this book, when you find yourself thinking, yeah, that's not me, or yeah, I can't do that. Or maybe I don't see another limiting belief I want to share with your audience here is I didn't believe I was worthy. And that was holding me back, which took me to a whole other training with the God Memorandum. And you guys know that. And so I challenge each and every one of you, when you hear your Dino voice, like Robert says, saying, yeah, I don't think you have the right to be rich. You're not that person. You don't deserve it. You've made too many bad decisions in your life. You've made too many mistakes. Your time has passed. You lost it. Do not believe that. Challenge yourself and ask yourself, how do you know that? How do you know that? And open your mind and know that there is no greater person than you. There is no deserving person more than you. Each and every one of us was created uniquely and purposefully. Each and every one of us, and go to, this is the thing, for those of you who are believers, there are Christian studies on the principles of the science of getting rich. Use Google, use YouTube, find out what these are. Find the scriptures that you believe to be true. Either you believe in the Bible or you don't believe in the Bible. You believe in part of the Bible? No, you got to either believe all of it or none of it. What do you believe? Find those scriptures that will support your right to be rich, your right to have success, your right to live life to your fullest potential, and your right to make the biggest difference in this world. So that's all I've got. I love and appreciate you so much, Lisa and Nicholas. You are amazing. And I'm so happy to see everybody on this call. And I'm so excited for this book series. So the book club. So
That is
just know
amazing,
you are
Melody.
worthy. I love you.
I love you too. You
Talk
are
to you later.
amazing. Yeah. Melody is so good at that. We have these words going around, but she just does it perfectly. That's because she practices every single day. Every single day she is working on something for her self-development, like the God Memorandum. I do read this book every single day. I'm not going to say I read more than a chapter at a time, not now, but I do go through a chapter every single morning, and I try to live by that principle. I am trying to make clear intentions. I mean, mentally, intent, my intentions. So, and if we can't believe that we all have the right to be rich, I can't remember who said it on one of our meetings. It might have been Melody, it might have been Robert. I don't know who it was, but oops, sorry. He said that, oh shoot, I lost it, guys. I lost it. Dang it. It'll come back. It'll come back. Is there anybody else that has anything that they want to add? Because this is valuable information. We do have limiting beliefs by how we were raised. You know, if Melody did have one class on this one. She was talking about balls. I just lost it again. Oh my goodness. You know what?
Lisa, may I add?
Yes, please. Thank you.
And as you said earlier, you know, we need tools.
Yeah.
We need tools. And even though each and every one of the people that are on here, whether live or watching the recording later, the science of getting rich and these success principles are the greatest tool. And I want to say it's the multi-tool in your toolbox that will help you create the changes in your life, to design the life in the colors that you want to live in. And I can't stress that enough. I have shared it with so many people, and it breaks my heart. It breaks my heart that people don't get it. They don't take the time to open that tool and to see all the greatness that can happen from it. And again, Lisa, just big kudos. I am so stoked and proud of you. I'm so excited. So
thank you, Melody. This is a very, very awkward for me. And as you can see, I'm tripping over my words, but it will get better, I promise. And I just want to tell you guys, in conclusion, we will wrap this up today. And we will start next Saturday right at noon, right with chapter 2. Oh, no, we got the questions we want to go through. Should we do that real quick, Nicholas?
Yeah.
Whoops. There we go. There we go.
Oh, you can hear me. Yes, let's do that.
Okay, very good. Let me go into our group and let me get that. Share my screen and move this down here. Now, if we run out of time here, guys, and we get cut out, I will finish posting these questions in the group and you can just fill them out before next week, okay? And let me go. Got to get into here. There we go. Okay. And this is where the questions, I don't have to post it because it's in here. That's right. Right here, chapter 1. And if you go to the actual post and click on see more, then scroll down here and you can click on edit if you want to and actually put in your answers. No, I disabled that. No, never mind. You cannot. So just use a separate piece of paper to write down your answers or, whatever. But that is where the questions are if we don't get to finish. So I'm going to stop sharing and see if anybody can answer these questions. And let me get back in there. Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. No. Sorry, guys. I should be better at this. It'll improve, I promise. I wasn't really sure how we were going to do this, but I think the way we did it should be just fine. I really do.
You're doing great, Lisa.
Thanks, Nicholas. You're a sweetheart.
Lisa, quit apologizing. You're doing wonderful. You're awesome.
All right, so here we go. And Seymour, I already had that up. I don't know where it went, but okay. All right, so number 1, it is not possible to live a complete or successful life unless one is, if you guys want to put it in the comments, if you want to speak up, completely up to you. Okay. Does anybody have the answer for that one?
Can you repeat it, Lisa, please?
Absolutely. Let me find it. Okay, it is not possible to live a complete or successful life unless one is blank.
Rich?
Yep, that's right. Very good. Nice job. Okay, number 2, the object of all life is what? Anybody want to unmute and just come on out? That's fine. Or if you want to type it, that's fine too. It is the object of all life is what? According to chapter 1.
Development.
Very good. Development. If we have room to grow, we are not doing us or anybody else justice by not growing, because we have that potential. Number 3, to be rich does not mean to be satisfied with a blank. To be rich.
Little.
What's that?
Little.
Very good. Nice. Yeah. To be rich does not mean to be satisfied with a little. Okay. Number 4 is blank in life is becoming what you want to be. Anybody? I'll do this one. Success. Success in life. Okay. I hope this is helping you guys. But success in life is becoming what you want to be. An understanding of the science of getting rich is the most essential of all blank. All blank. Nobody? The understanding of the science of getting rich is the most essential of all knowledge. All knowledge. Okay? And you guys can go back to these and just, I mean, you can keep this. I mean, download it so that you can print it off, whatever you got to do. But, you know, this book you can find free online, Audible, and the PDF form all over. I mean, the YouTube videos are there. I think what did help me the most was Robert's analogy. You don't really have access to that unless you go through Melody's course, which, by the way, is phenomenal. Okay, so what are the 3 motives for which we live? No one has to be less off than the other one. All need to be equal. You have to have a healthy balance. What are the 3 motives? Body, mind, and soul. Okay. Blank is possibility seeking expression or function seeking what? There's two answers there. Maybe I should share this so you guys can see it.
Like seeking expression or seeking performance?
Yeah, absolutely. You got it. Desire. Desire is possibility seeking expression or function seeking performance. Nice job, Katie. Nice job. Can you guys see my screen or no? No, I don't think so. Is it going okay with me just reading these to you? Okay. Okay, good. Or I can. It don't matter. Here we go. Okay. All right. Number 8, to live fully in body, blank and blank are necessary. to live fully in our body. These two things, they had separate things for the mind, they had separate things for the body, and they had separate things for the soul. Do you remember what any of them were?
I have a guess. This was harder than I thought.
Oh,
Okay,
is it Nicholas?
my guess is rest and recreation.
Absolutely. Yes, you are correct. Nice job, Nicholas. That's good. It is a little bit harder unless you're looking right at the book. And I think Melody suggested that we put these right there so that, you know, while you're reading, you can go through and fill that out. And maybe, you know, that'll sink in a little bit more, hopefully. Okay, so number 9, to live fully in mind, blank recreations and blank of art and beauty are needed. How did we need to live fully in the soul? Do you remember? Intellectual, we need to live fully in soul, or I'm sorry, to live fully in mind. I'm so sorry, in mind. Intellectual, recreations, and appreciation of the art and beauty are needed. Okay. Number 10, to live fully in soul, an individual must have. This is an easy one. Come on, you guys. What must we have?
Love.
Yes, thank you. Good job. Good job. Okay. It is in the use of blank that a person finds full life, where his body develops his mind and unfolds his soul.
Can you say the first part of the question again?
Absolutely. It is in the use of blank that a person finds full life, for his body develops his mind and unfolds his soul. Those are material things. Material things are our tools. See what they're, and I maybe would not have known this had I not went through Robert's. I'm going to stop sharing here. Had I not gone through Robert's, I would not have gotten all these things, because the source, as they talk about in the book, is referring to our Creator. So it doesn't really matter what religion you are. You know, we just need to put those words, use those words how they would please us. There is no right or wrong answer. Put what you want in there. My God, or Jesus, or whoever your Creator is. And just, you know, there's a couple of people for sure that would not attend this book club because I believe it was because of religion. And I've got to respect that. Nicholas, go ahead. Oops, I did it again.
Can you hear me? Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I would just like to share something. I'm sorry, that was funny. I would just like to share something about what you just talked about, because I was one of those people that I'm a believer in many things, but I wasn't a believer in a higher power. So at one of Robert Holly's calls, I asked that question. You know, how do someone like me, how am I supposed to think about this? And he said, instead of thinking, you know, God, higher power, think about your inner strength. So I thought that would help people that are like me, if there are any on these calls. So I just want to share that, but it comes straight from Robert Hollis. So Thank you.
Anything Robert says, we go for that. You're going to copy a cat. You can copy the right cat, right? Okay. I think we're going to wrap it up right here, unless anybody else has anything they want to add. I so appreciate you guys hopping on here. This is very difficult for me to do, but I'm sweating.
Lisa, may I say something, please?
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought you were awesome and really awesome at this. So never say you're not. And also, you know, I've been reading the Bible a lot, and I'm becoming pretty spiritual. Anyway, that I know that God or a higher power wants us to be rich.
Yep. Absolutely. He wants to live through us. Everything what he desires, what he wants, you know, what makes him, you know, the books, the music, you know, he wants to play a piano through some child, you know, he wants to experience all these things. And that is what he is experiencing them through us. Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Deb. I appreciate you. Does anybody have any questions? I think next.
Lisa?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, in the way that I like to think about this, as I am a believer in God, so whatever you believe in, but this is what helped me was, you know, just like I want only the best for my children, he's my father. He wants even more for us, his children, than we want for our own children. So that was what helped me. And I agree with Debbie. Stop apologizing. You are phenomenal. You are incredible. And I just absolutely love your heart for putting yourself out there, for getting out of your comfort zone. And I'm already, you know, this is the first day of this book club, and I have already seen so much growth in you as you have been preparing for this over the last week, especially. I mean, I've been watching it for a while, but over the last week, because you were gearing up, you wanted to do your best, you wanted to deliver and understand, and to be able to relate to people how important this information is for them, them. So yes, abundance is yours.
It is, because God would not hand it to someone and not hand it to you. There's enough for all of us. There absolutely is. I believe that now, and I'm going for it. So I encourage you guys to do the same. And we will see you next week. We will start out the same way. We'll keep the link in the group to join. And I did everything wrong to get this going, but you know what? Melody's helping me, and I will learn as I go, and it will be better. I promise. And I won't apologize anymore, because it was very difficult for me to step out and do this. So I appreciate you guys so much for hopping on. And we will, if you guys can read chapter 2, let's plan on doing 2 chapters. Let's do chapter 2 and 3. And then at the beginning of the class, we will listen to the audios just to refresh your memory. And then we'll go right into the questions and discussion, and then questions, comments, whatever. Okay. I'm good. All right. Thanks, you guys. I guess that's it. I just leave now, right?
Hi, Lisa. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So glad you guys were here. I appreciate
You're
it.
amazing, Lisa. Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you, Lisa.
You betcha. So if anybody needs the book, anything, you know, so that you don't have to keep going back to the group to get it, is reach out. You should have one, especially if you're in my other group. You should have one, right? Okay, I'm going to go. Bye, guys. Thank you for coming.
Bye.
Melody and
Hi, everyone.
thank you so much, both of you. You mean the world to me.
Same here, darling.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Have a great
Bye.
weekend, everyone.